Alright, what is going on, guys? It is Super here and welcome to another MKX Q&A video. So let's get started. Here I have a bunch of questions actually. I still have questions from like weeks ago from previous Q&As. I really need to put these answer a lot more of these questions. So the last one was 11 minutes. I don't think this one's going to be that long, but I'm going to try to get to as many questions as I can. So here we go. First question comes from Abigail, and he or she asks, which is your favorite Brutalities, MK3? I think he means MK Trilogy was the first one, I believe, to have Brutalities, or the MKX version. And, you know, Abigail, to be honest with you, when I first heard that there was going to be Brutalities in Mortal Kombat X, I was very excited because I love the Brutalities in Mortal Kombat Trilogy. It's just a series of buttons, and then you beat the crap out of your opponent to the point where he blows up, and there's bones all over the place. That's the traditional Brutality before MKX came out. But then when MKX came out, and they put so much creativity to a lot of these Brutalities, yeah, I think the Brutalities in Mortal Kombat X is one of the best things about the game. It adds so much to the game because the excitement of getting a Brutality, it's awesome. Like, that is the quintessential Brutalities. Now, I love the old school MK Trilogy Brutalities, but just the way MKX did the Brutalities is just very impressive, and it's one of the best things about MKX, to be honest with you guys. I'd rather do a Brutality than a Fatality. That's how good the Brutalities in MKX are. So next question here comes from Mr. J, and he asks, Super, if you had to personally choose the main villain for MK11, who would it be and why? That's definitely a hard question because, to me, just because I grew up playing, the old Mortal Kombat, I would definitely go with Shao Kahn just because of nostalgia purposes and because I think he's a badass. But you could also go with many other different, big bad guys from the MK universe. So if you guys have your own, answer to this, of course, write in the comment section. But for me, if I had to choose a bad guy, I would definitely choose Shao Kahn. And as you guys saw, in the Quan Chi Fortress, Shao Kahn was actually getting created again, revived. So I definitely think he'll come back eventually. I don't know if it's going to be an MK11, but he will come back in the future for MK. Definitely looking forward to that. I wonder if they're going to make him playable, just like with Goro. Goro was a boss character for a long time, and they made him playable in MKX. So moving on here, Wally asks, would you ever try out old 3D Mortal Kombat games? And unfortunately, on the YouTube channel, I don't think I would, just because I never really enjoyed the old 3D style Mortal Kombat games that much. I forgot which one it was, but the one that I enjoyed the most was the one that had Conquest mode. If you guys remember, I think it was Deadly Alliance that had Conquest mode, and I really enjoyed that one. But, for the YouTube channel, I don't think I'll be going back to the 3D era MK games. But moving on here, Chris asks, my favorite Triborg variation, which one is it? My favorite variation to play is Cyber Sub-Zero. I think Cyber Sub-Zero is, one of, if not the most fun character to actually play as in MKX, because he has a dive kick. He has so much mobility. His combos look sick. I think Cyber Sub-Zero is definitely, gameplay-wise, my favorite Triborg variation. But as far as, like the character, Sector is pretty much up there as my favorite character in Mortal Kombat history. Aaron Black is close. He's fucking close, guys. I know he's only been in MKX, but I just think Aaron Black is so awesome, especially gameplay-wise. Ermac is right there as well. You guys, if you guys have followed the channel, you guys know Ermac, Sector, right there as my two favorite characters ever. So gameplay-wise, Cyber Sub-Zero, just in general, my favorite, definitely Sector. Moving on here, Snowy asks, have you ever competed in ESL? If you have, how far did you get? Yeah, I actually did compete twice. I competed in 2 weeks back in Season 1, and the first week I made it into the 3rd round and then lost in the 3rd round. Pretty close matches. Actually, they're up on YouTube somewhere. And then the second week, I made the mistake of playing during the ESL while I was hungover like I had a ridiculous hangover from going out, partying with friends the night before, that I got destroyed in the first round. And after that, my experience wasn't the best playing ESL. Of course, that was when the old netcode was available for MKX, the input delay based one, and don't even get me started with that. I don't know how these guys played season one, all 8 weeks. I guess, for the 100K or whatever they had, it's definitely a good motivation. But for me, that I just want to have fun with the game. Don't really, want to be the best ever. I have no interest in being a professional. So for me, it was a pain in the ass getting online, waiting for these guys to, to show up for the matches, just to have someone, have McDonald's Wi-Fi internet, or maybe it was just the input-based delay netcode that NRS had before. It was awful. But yeah, I did compete twice. Made it to the third round the first week. Played Kobujutsu Tanya, and got destroyed the next week because I made the horrible mistake of playing while hungover. And check this out. Oh my god, this is still one of my favorite wins of all time. Just mashing down one with fucking Jason. Oh my god, just looking at it again, I'm disgusted at myself. Disgusted. Moving on, next question here comes from Ralphie, and he has, Super, here's a question for you. Who do you or what did you do before doing YouTube full time? Did you go to school or have a job? And yes, I definitely had a job. I was working at a supermarket, really not enjoying the job at all. I was pretty much like the lowest end of person that you could, or, job title that you could have at a supermarket. Those guys who are, getting the carts from the parking lot that people leave out there, bringing them back, cleaning up aisles, stuff like that. And that's fine. It's completely fine to have a job like that if you enjoy it, and if you maybe have coworkers that are your friends, stuff like that. But I didn't really enjoy it at all. So it was just a job for me. It was pretty you just go to work, do your job, get your paycheck, all that good stuff. It didn't even pay well, to be honest with you guys. And I just bought my equipment to record videos. I started doing YouTube because I watched these guys play Call of Duty, C-Nanners, Hutch, Zergriz, the main guys that I started watching back in the day. I really enjoyed what they were doing. I wanted to, emulate what they were doing. And, I was okay at Call of Duty at the time. So I bought my equipment, started doing YouTube, and, slowly but surely started uploading more and more videos. One thing I will say, if you're trying to upload or you're trying to grow on YouTube, it is very hard nowadays because the market is oversaturated. But one thing that you can be is very consistent. Upload daily if you can, upload a lot. And I've always done that. I even told my brother that, and he just started doing that. And once he did, with his Dark Souls videos, he started having a lot more success because people like having something to watch every day. Like, I have YouTubers that I watch every single day, and I see a lot of names in the comment section. I definitely recognize them. And, as time went on, I started to get a little bit more views, still having this job, of course. And at some point, I was making enough money to, not have to work there anymore, because I was making more money than I was at this job where I was miserable at. So, that's how it ended up working for me. Definitely, blessed because of that. Because if not, I probably would have still been doing that job, which would have sucked, and I wouldn't have had, or wouldn't have enough time to stream and upload 4 vids a day, all that good stuff. And it does take a lot of work to maintain a channel running with 4 videos a day and just trying to cover the news as fast as you can, so I'm very happy. I'm really happy with how things ended up working out. I definitely am grateful for working at this job, because even though I didn't really enjoy it, just having a job and earning a paycheck, it gets you motivated because you want more fucking money, you know what I mean? So it's always good to just look for a job. Even if you don't enjoy it at the time, you're gonna see that money rolling in, and it's actually gonna give you a lot more motivation. But don't forget about school, guys. School is very important as well. I did go to college for a little bit, but my lazy ass was I was a little bit too lazy for that. But you guys definitely go out there, do your thing. But that's what I was doing before. I had a job at a grocery store. Making money definitely helped out my YouTube drive because I didn't want to work there anymore. And I also, really like the feeling of getting money. So if I could, I was thinking if I could somehow do YouTube and not only make money, but also do something that I enjoy, it's a perfect scenario. And it ended up working out because of MKX and you guys showing the support. So thank you guys for that. That was a long answer, so let's try to rapid fire a couple questions here. Where was I? All right, Paul asked, what's your favorite MKX interaction dialogue from which characters? I think my favorite one, because I love Predator and it just sounds awesome, is Boraicho and Predator when they come in. Boraicho tells Predator what Arnold told Predator in the Predator movie, saying, "You're one ugly motherfucker." It's so good. I love it. I also like the mirror match dialogue between Katana and Katana, where she calls herself a slut pretty much, where she says, "You're totally sleeping with him." Really like that one. Moving on here, Jalen asks, Super, which DLC character would you want a skin for the most? I definitely want a Jason X costume. I know that, a lot of people have said that the company who made Jason X isn't the same one who does every other Jason movie. Like, Jason X isn't really canon, I guess you could say. So it's not possible to have a Jason X costume, unfortunately. But Jason, if I had to choose one, Jason X would be the costume that I pick. And if I couldn't have that, it would probably have to be a classic costume for Triborg. All 4 variations, classic UMK3 costumes for the robots, either that or human costumes for like Smoke, and yeah, like MK9 human costumes. That would be pretty cool. Last question here. Pabs asks, what character do you struggle playing against the most? And I think the 2 characters that I struggle playing against the most are Grandmaster Sub-Zero and Dragon's Fire Liu Kang. Those are my 2 worst matchups, I would say. So that's going to be it for today's Q&A video. Another long one, so I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time.